In the previous video, we explained what the stock market is and why it exists. We talked about ownership, businesses, and why people participate in markets over long periods of time. But once people understand those ideas, a new question usually appears. If this is how the system works, how do people actually use it? Not in headlines. Not in movies. Not in stories about extreme success or failure. But in everyday life. This video is about structure, not outcomes. It is about common approaches, not recommendations. And it is about understanding, not action. Nothing in this video tells you what to buy. Nothing tells you when to invest. And nothing assumes you are ready to do anything yet. The goal is to explain how investing is usually done, slowly and clearly, so the system feels understandable instead of abstract. When beginners think about investing, they often imagine one thing: choosing the right stock. They picture investors constantly searching for the next big company, trying to predict which business will grow the fastest, or reacting quickly to news. This image is everywhere. But for most people, this is not how investing actually works. In reality, most long-term investors do not spend their time choosing individual stocks every day. They focus on how their money is structured, not on constant decision-making. This difference is crucial. Investing, for most people, is not about frequent choices. It is about setting up a system that requires fewer choices over time. One reason investing feels confusing is because it is often described as one thing. But investing is not a single activity. It is a broad category that includes many different approaches. Some people invest by buying shares of individual companies, buying collections of companies through funds, contributing small amounts regularly, or holding investments for many years without frequent changes. Each of these approaches has different levels of complexity, risk, and involvement. What matters for beginners is understanding that there is no single way to invest. Most people simplify rather than complicate. They aim to reduce decisions, not increase them. One way people invest is by buying individual company stocks. This means owning shares of specific businesses. When someone does this, their financial outcome becomes closely tied to that company. If the company performs well, the value of the stock may increase. If the company struggles, the value may decrease. This approach can feel intuitive. People recognize brands. They use products. They see companies in everyday life. But individual stocks come with concentration risk. One company can face challenges that have nothing to do with the overall economy. Management decisions, competition, regulation, or unexpected events can all affect performance. Because of this, buying individual stocks requires research, patience, and emotional control. For beginners, this can quickly become overwhelming. When money is concentrated in a small number of companies, outcomes become more uncertain. If one company represents a large portion of an investment, its success or failure has a major impact. This is not inherently wrong. But it increases risk. Risk does not mean something bad will happen. It means outcomes become less predictable. Many beginners underestimate how unpredictable individual companies can be. This is why diversification exists. Diversification means spreading exposure. Instead of relying on one company, diversification means owning many. The idea is simple. Different companies perform differently at different times. Some grow quickly. Some grow slowly. Some struggle. Some fail. By owning many companies, the impact of any single outcome is reduced. Diversification does not remove risk, but it makes risk more manageable. This principle is one of the foundations of long-term investing. To make diversification easier, funds exist. A fund is a structure that groups many investments together. When someone buys a fund, they are not buying one company. They are buying small pieces of many companies at once. This provides instant diversification. Funds are popular because they simplify investing, reduce decision-making, and lower concentration risk. Instead of choosing individual companies, people choose a framework. This shift from selection to structure is important. One of the most common types of funds is an index fund. An index fund follows a specific group of companies, known as an index. The goal of an index fund is not to outperform the market. Its goal is to represent it. This approach is based on a simple idea: over long periods, the overall market reflects economic growth. Index funds reduce the need for predictions, constant adjustments, and emotional reactions. This is why they are widely used for long-term investing. Beginners often focus on timing. They worry about entering the market at the wrong moment. But long-term investing reduces the importance of perfect timing. Over many years, regular participation matters more than entry points. Consistency matters more than predictions, and time smooths short-term volatility. This is why many investors focus on staying invested rather than acting perfectly. Many people invest gradually. Instead of investing a large amount once, they invest smaller amounts over time. This approach reduces emotional stress, spreads exposure, and builds habits. Regular contributions turn investing into a process. It becomes something routine instead of something dramatic. Investors cannot control markets. They cannot control prices, news, or global events. What they can control is how much they contribute, how often they contribute, how diversified they are, and how long they stay invested. Focusing on controllable factors simplifies decisions. This mindset is central to long-term investing. Markets are driven by human behavior. Fear and optimism influence decisions. Many mistakes are not technical. They are emotional. Simple strategies often work because they reduce emotional reactions. Less decision-making often leads to better outcomes. Beginners often feel pressure to act quickly. They may chase trends, follow headlines, or copy others. These behaviors increase risk. Learning slowly is not a disadvantage. Understanding structure matters more than speed. Investing is not about prediction. It is about participation. It is a long-term process based on structure, patience, and understanding. You do not need to know everything. You do not need to act immediately. Clarity comes first. Everything else builds on that foundation.